Hello and welcome. All right, we're here to talk about the NFL this week. And we're here to see who's getting their notification. The Seattle Seahawks had the luxury of playing the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts are a decent football team. They just have no offense to protect them. Well, it's very fortunate for him they were playing the Colts. Uh, but they still have a lot of offensive problems taking place on the field. Is anyone getting their notifications? Tim DeLeon. Make sure you guys are subscribed and have clicked the notification button. So if you're not subscribed and hit the notification button, you're not going to get it. So if you have done that and you're not getting your notifications, please let me know right now. You usually get them, but you're not getting them right now. It's not a slow day. Something's wrong. And when something's wrong, that's why we have Google support. They should be looking at this live chat right now. Because we normally have a lot more people than this. This is ridiculous. Rei product. Okay. No one is getting notifications. I know because I know the numbers we do. So when I see stuff like this, when I see 12 and 3, that's incredibly crazy. We get hundreds. So when we get hundreds and we seeing 3, 5, 6, that's wrong. That's completely wrong. It's impossible. Hold on a second, fellas. That's me talking with Google support. I don't hate Amber Rose. It just has no place in this conversation. Okay. Now it's done. They're going to have the tech people check this out and see what the problem is and see how did I get sabotaged and fix it. See? That's all you got to do. Got to hit them up on the line and let them know. But this is to let you know this is exactly what they do to try to stop you from seeing the video. Ain't that crazy? Yeah, Google support. Oh, Mr. Music Life, you probably don't understand that Google support, when you have a certain amount of subscribers, you dying laughing. You never heard of Google? Well, Google support is not for everybody. Only certain people have access to Google support. I could chat with Google support live. See? Yeah, so it's real. Everybody don't have it though. Nah, it's not for everyone. Now let's talk about the games. Let's get to it. Now that we fixed that problem, the Bills are in first place. The NFL has become competitive, and everybody's like, what is going on here? What's going on with your New England Patriots? And I'm like, well, you spend $17 million on the offense. That's the problem. Everybody was so focused on the offense, they forgot about the defense. The defense didn't look so great last season. Then you got Hightower got hurt in the middle of the game. So down goes Hightower. Todd Gurley is Gurley, whatever, is able to do that if he's not checked or picked up by a middle linebacker. He's a great running back, but he's more better in like the Marshall Faulk position. And they're trying to use him in that type of offensive sets. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. They're not trying to, how could you put this? This is what they're not trying to do and what they're not going to do. They're not going to rush Goff into making him a Peyton Manning type quarterback. They're going to play with, keep him in the system that they need to keep him in to move the chains and run offensive plays. Fisher he's a good guy, just not a great offensive coach. I'm a fan of perfection. Well, Oakland ran into a problem yesterday. The Raiders. The Oakland Raiders. Oh, the Colts, man. The Colts are done because Andrew Luck is done. Andrew Luck is through. People don't realize he was through for 2 seasons. That back surgery, you don't come back. He had to get like half a liver cut off or something. I'm like, dude, he's done. They got to start looking for the future for a quarterback. That whole gambling on Andrew Luck, I mean, he's giving you the best he's going to get. You got to start looking at some of these quarterbacks now and stop trying to get these pocket passing guys from BYU. You better start getting you one of these number 1 draft picks in the whole lottery. When you see a Deshaun Watson come out, that's who you're supposed to grab. He's somebody that's ready to win right now. You got to get a mobile quarterback. That's what the Colts need. They need somebody who can buy time in the pocket. Your offensive line isn't that great. And when your offensive line isn't that great, this is some of the problems you're going to run into. Should the Raiders' offensive line be fired? They had a bad day. They went against, you got to understand who they went up against. They went up against Denver. You got Von Miller. You got one of the best defensive 4 in the NFL in Denver. You know what they do. That defense won a Super Bowl just 2 years ago. But you thought they paid Von just to be paying him? They wreak havoc. That's what they do. Well, Baltimore's getting what they deserve. Flacco, they gave him that money. He has not lived up to his contract at all. They should have signed Colin Kaepernick. They know Colin Kaepernick fits their system of what they're trying to do. I mean, like Randy Moss said, you going to defend him getting 28 yards just the game before? And they was like, oh, well, he had a back injury. He was in London. He wasn't in London now. He wished he was in London. Oh, Tom Petty died, man. Man, everybody going now. Hugh Hefner, Tom Petty, my goodness. Then the guy from Steely Dan just died. Their best wide receiver is old Jeremy Maclin. No, well, the thing is if you look at the plays they're calling, look at Flacco. He's not throwing the ball very well. Don't matter. Macklin was never a burner anyway. He's a route runner. Don't you think my man is older than him? Larry Fitzgerald in Arizona? But Larry Fitzgerald still catches touchdown. Oh, this is going to be a good game with New England and Tampa coming up because New England got to win this game. They lost 2 at home. Their defense is giving up 70-something points, and they both of the losses. Their defense had 2 stops the entire football game. They got an interception in the first quarter, and then it was a punt. Other than that, Cam's feeling better because he played New England, who lost Hightower. Once Hightower went down for the rush in the middle linebacker, they were done. They defense couldn't get them off the field. Brady led the drive to bring them back down and get the lead and tie the game back up. And these guys could not get a stop. They just couldn't get a stop. New England defense is terrible, and they did something this year they never do. They spent all this money on the offense. They spent $17 million on the offense. Getting all these wide receivers for Tom Brady. I'm like, Brady don't need wide receivers. Brady needs protection. Brady need a defense. Get somebody that can get Brady on the field. Then you don't pay Malcolm Butler, but you pay this other guy to come in. And he ain't doing his job. Turner, he did not play great. So you guys really don't understand football to a degree. He played average. The defense did as much as they could. He didn't score. Believe me, they were losing like 15-10. What happened was, I got you watching Gotham. Oh, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. Because Gotham is on fire. You must have seen my Screen Fiend account, my movie account. Jimmy Graham is not getting the ball, period. Ever since the whole season started. Jimmy Graham is not getting any balls at all. You got to understand what happened. You guys are looking at stats. You have to watch the games. That's why I said the game tells you the story. Stats is just only going to give you numbers. Listen, this is what happened. The defense is getting tired because the offense is not putting up any points. When the offense is 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, the defense is on the field all day. Time of possession of the football tells you the game. This is what happened in the Super Bowl. This is what you guys missed. New England had the ball for like 20 more minutes than Atlanta did, and Atlanta was up like 20-something to 3. This is why New England was so confident, because they knew they could control. They were controlling the football and moving it. They just weren't scoring. So in the second half, they did these drives. They dominated almost 90% of the game. When you have the ball that much time, the only way, like Dallas last week, Arizona dominated time of possession. The only reason they won the game is because they scored on the very few drives they had. They only had 47 plays the entire game last week. This week, time of possession, they were getting dominated again. When you're opposing person, you can't stop anybody. You can't get them off. They get to run more plays than you. It's very hard for you to win a football game. Like when I told you guys that the other quarterback was playing on the same level as Aaron Rodgers, really? Aaron Rodgers really wasn't dominating Glennon. Glennon was just making bad plays when he couldn't hit an inside route. He had 4 turnovers. They lost by 4 touchdowns. He had 4 turnovers. You look at it, Aaron Rodgers had a 4-yard touchdown, a 4-yard touchdown, an 8-yard touchdown, a 6-yard touchdown. He didn't have 1 touchdown that was past 10 yards in his 4 touchdowns because they kept turning the ball over. So he didn't have a lot of yards passing. Dallas is a disappointment because everybody puts them on a pedestal. Last season, everybody told you, and this is how football works. You see it every year, but people ignore it. Every year, people pick Dallas to go to like the Super Bowl for some reason. That's just retarded. I'm like, why would they be going to the Super Bowl? People asking for Tony Romo, and I'm like, why? Tony Romo has never gotten you past a second round game. He's never played in the NFC Championship game. He can't get you there. So I'm like, how are you going to win a Super Bowl all of a sudden? When he gets later in his years, he's going to get better? No. He's what he's always going to be. Dak Prescott, Dez has lost his step. No, Dez was never a good route runner to begin with. He used to win off physicality. And he's not fast. He's not a good route runner. He doesn't know how to not sell the play, and he doesn't have great hands. He dropped a key third down that would have kept them in the drive, and they could have got a field goal. Yeah, Tony Romo. The reason why Tony Romo is good in the booth is he's going to do a good job. He's taking off his partner, Jim Nantz, because he keeps talking over Jim Nantz. But Tony is so excited because he knows the game. He knows the setups. When he see the plays out there on the field, he's a quarterback. So when you're a quarterback, you know these offensive sets. You know what the defense is doing. You know what you're looking at. You're like, oh, they're in a 62-35 zone read. You know, he jumps right up. But what I told y'all in week 2, I said something's wrong with Ezekiel Elliott. Man, you jumping the gun. It's too soon, man. He all right. Something's wrong with Ezekiel Elliott. Then what's going on with the Dallas offensive line? They getting blown up. Soon as they say hike, boom, they coming right in. And what did I tell you? Last year when they won all those games is because people had they didn't scout for Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott wasn't supposed to be the starter. They were scouting for Tony Romo because Romo was the guy that was supposed to be the quarterback. They don't know anything about Dak Prescott. They don't know what he could do. They don't know if he got a strong arm. They don't really know what he could do. They just going off a preseason game. So now they got to figure out, okay, what this guy can do. So then they started to see what Dak Prescott could do through the season. Then Ezekiel is busting through the line. He was in such great shape last year. This year, I think he partied and BS too much, and he's trying to use the season to get in shape. I don't think he came in a little too heavy this year because he ain't running like he used to. He a little bit too bulky than what he was when he first played last year. He has some quickness. His quickness is gone. Now it's just all running because he's hitting the hole late. When they hand him the ball, I'm like, okay, normally last year he was poof, hitting the hole, exploding. But people are like, he had 2 touchdowns. I'm like, dog, this ain't fantasy football. I'm talking about the actual game. In the actual game, yeah, he got you some points. Be happy. But he ain't running the same. And he ain't going to win you a game running the way he's running, and the offensive line is getting blown up. And he's not making a play. That offensive line is getting destroyed. What's supposed to be the best offensive line in football is getting blown up right off the bat. Like as soon as it starts, boom. There it is. Done. Everybody talking about the court and the legal problems. What's up, Tone? Yeah, I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna be watching that live from Hooters. If my man Lex was in here, he'll be happy as could be, cause he want to go see old girl, my Hooter friend. Well, Thomas, he ain't feeling good, you know. Whenever the Cowboys lose, he ain't feeling too good. Rams a playoff team? Well, they looking like it. They could be. They just got to learn how to close. They got to learn how to close out on good teams. Goff is a good game manager, but he got to learn how to. You can't settle for field goals. You got to put touchdowns up. That's the Eagles' problem. The Philadelphia Eagles right now, they're winning games because actually the New England Patriots are learning that a great running back like Blunt, you keep him. You don't let Blunt go. You see what he's doing for the Eagles? He's helping out. Whenever Wentz get into a jam, which he gets into, he just gets wild and start making circus plays in the back. That's not going to win you games. You get in a position where you got to win games by scoring touchdowns. They need to learn how to score. Oh, yeah, my buddy Gore yesterday. All day. Fly, Eagles, fly. You couldn't shut him up all day. You could not shut Go up. He was gone all day. But this has been the most interesting season for the NFL. See, this goes to show you, you don't need a one dominant team to just beat everybody in the league. That's not competitive. You want to see these other teams come up. It makes the league more interesting. I'm like, man, this is more interesting now. These other teams have gotten better. They didn't just sit back and suck. Everybody's just going off the names. Guys have actually gotten better. Detroit Lions, the only problem Detroit has is closing games out. They got to learn how to close better. That's always been a problem. Matt Stafford could only come down and do this to mediocre teams. They can't beat the big teams like the New England Patriots. They can't beat the Steelers. They can't beat the best. They just beat up on the non-elite, and Stafford gets a big contract out of it. But he got to show and prove that they can do it. Actually, they're a lot better than when they had Megatron. With Megatron, he would force the ball to him and throw it to him in traffic and want him to be that guy. The Chiefs are the real deal. They were the real deal last year. Their only problem is, and it's always going to be the quarterback. When you get pressure on him, who's going to take the weight? They lost some key personnel. They lost Barry on defense, and that's going to hurt them. Their problem is they go to the tight end a lot, and they're trying to stretch the ball down the field. They don't really have that kind of personnel. Now, the only thing they could do is capitalize off blown coverage. But Smith is everything. Alex Smith has always been what he is. He's a 10-yard passer, and that's just the gist of what he's going to do. Kirk Cousins' problem is he's playing for a team that don't really want him to be the quarterback because they don't think he can get him to the next level, which he's have another Matt Stafford problem, except for he's not a type of quarterback that's going to light it up like Matt Stafford. Plus, they don't run that kind of offense in Washington. Washington's whole offense is not designed to be ran in that direction. It's a real basic. We just no real big play. If they do is one big play down the field. It's like the old NFC days. It's more like how Jeff Fisher was running the game. All they do really is a couple of passes to the tight end, the running back. What they do, no whip plays really. Just a couple of small routes with the tight end, little ins and outs. It's nothing complicated. And you could really beat that. When they had Deshaun, that could open up, that took the lid off. So it allowed them to have a lot of more opportunities. Miami right now is looking pathetic. And the reason why they're looking pathetic, some of it is on Jay Cutler. A lot of it is on the offensive line. And the fact that they never really have any receivers. They don't really have any receivers. They were just getting by because they had a quarterback who could get out there and make things happen. Tannehill was somebody that was making things happen. They were sneaking people. So everybody thought Miami was on their way. No, they're not on their way. People weren't paying them any attention. They didn't take them seriously. So they were sneaking teams. See, teams that are good and that's been on the cusp of being good, but they kept beating themselves, were the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs last year. And everybody kept talking about how their division sucks. Everybody kept talking about, oh, that division sucked. The Buffalo Bills will beat probably anybody in any league, in any team, any division. The Chiefs will beat anybody in any division. New England's probably the third best team in that league. Because defensively, New England cannot stop anybody right now. This game coming up is going to show you the difference. As far as this weekend, this Thursday night, New England is playing Tampa Bay. It's going to tell you the difference right now, what's going to happen on that field. Deshaun Watson is light years better than Dak Prescott. Light years better than Dak. He just showed you last week. Now, there's certain plays Deshaun Watson can run, and what they're doing is they putting sets in there with rollouts and all kind of plays that fit his style of play. And that's what a good offensive coordinator can do. He knows, okay, we can take this out, we can take this out. Let's make this perfect for our quarterback. We're not going to put plays in there that Brady would run. We're not going to let him try to throw the ball over the shoulder and drop it in. We're not going to do that. Dak is not an accurate passer consistently like Watson can be. Watson can move on the dime, stop, throw, and get it going. Clay is the best receiver? Possibly. If Dallas was smart, nobody's going to take Dez for that money. Dez need to be in Cleveland. Clay is consistent. I'll give him that. I mean, it's early, but yeah, he's getting it. Nobody's really honing in on him too much. Of course, you take Gurley over Elliott right now. Gurley is like a Marshall Faulk. Elliott, Zeke needs, he could be mentally taken out of the game. If things are not going well for him, he shuts down. He mentally shuts down and checks out of the game. If the NFL players see that, they know how they can take you out of the game. See, Gurley went a whole season, his whole rookie year, and didn't even get a touchdown. He was dominating all these yards and never got a touchdown. His second year, he almost went. I think he probably finally got his first touchdown later on that year. Never got in the end zone. His goal, he was like, man, I just want to get in the end zone, man. My whole rookie year, man, I ain't even get in the end zone. You know, that was his goal. He wanted to be great. Oh my God! Did this guy just try to break down? Young man Westbrook, go take a nap. We talking about the way they run and the way they play. Adrian Peterson, AP, I don't know. But I know he's going to want out of New Orleans. Because him and the coach, this was dumb. It's like, why would you pick up AP if you're not going to use AP the way AP is supposed to be used? Nah, AP can still play. AP is a power back. Which means that you got to keep giving him the ball. You got to keep feeding him. He can't just bring him in for 3 plays, take him out, let somebody else do a set, then you bring him back in for 4 plays. But this is AP fault too. What did you expect? You should have signed with Seattle. Seattle offered you the same amount of money. You would have been getting the ball if you was in Seattle. Why would you come to a team where the guy who's passed for like 4,000 yards every year? You think they finna start running it when you get there? I know they sold you on that. But in actuality, he should have stayed in Minnesota. Yeah, the Patriots defense is terrible. But see, the thing is, when you guys see guys get hurt on the field, and you guys just think, okay, somebody hurt, they'll bring in another guy. That just don't work on Tom Brady. Don't play defense. You know, he can do his part, but they can't stop anybody. And that's becoming a problem. And now Hightower, who was like the general of the defense, he got hurt. The whole thing just fell off. See, the Patriots, if they could prepare, if they knew Hightower wasn't going to play that day, that's different. They can make the adjustment and move forward. But if somebody get hurt in the middle of the game, it's kind of hard for New England to make that adjustment. They could make the adjustment when they know they're not playing. But Cam and them only punted one time in the entire game. One time they punted. They threw an interception. That was the only 2 stops in the entire game. And this is a team that couldn't even move the football last week. So I won't say Cam back. I won't say Cam back. Well, me and Shannon Sharp think alike. We both know football. So I do videos and say stuff, and then the next day Shannon says it. Great minds think alike because we all know we're smart. So we watch the game. We know what we're watching. So if you hear me say something and Shannon said, it's basically because it's right. Oh, yeah, that's what made it. He sold a whole show today when he had that black and mouth. You go on my Instagram, that's all you going to see is Shannon in that black. I'm going off the mile, Skip. Skip, I'm going off the mile. And I got that hen dog. That hen dog and them blacks. He said, I don't need your money. I don't want your money. Oh, Joey liked my post? Well, that's nice. Oh, yeah, he's just going to defend LeBron because LeBron's his guy. But remember, I told you this was going to be the #1 show. I told you. Told you it's going to be better than First Take. Yeah, the AFC and the NFC, Tone. Both of them are competitive this season. And the reason why both of them are competitive is because teams have gotten better and they did it through the draft. They drafted well. And people don't pay attention in the NFL draft. A lot of teams got better defensively, special teams, all the stuff that people don't focus on. Everybody went and got pieces that they need. They didn't go out and go grab the big name guy that's all on the internet. They got guys you don't even know about coming in there flying to the ball, getting it done. And everybody like, man, where did these teams come from? I'm like, these players, they got better. Detroit knew what they needed to do to get better. And the thing is, teams like Buffalo, they were on the cusp. Buffalo was supposed to be great last year. The Falcons are the best in the NFC. No, the Bills thing is they couldn't close games. They couldn't close the games out. They kept losing in the clutch. Buffalo will be winning 25-10 and lose 28-25. Atlanta is not as good as they were last season. And the reason why is because they got lapses on offense. And what I mean by lapses on offense is that you put pressure on Matt Ryan and get to Matt Ryan. He throws the ball erratically and it rattles him. And they make dumb play calls. When they should be running the ball, they're trying to pass. The same mistakes they made in the Super Bowl is the same mistakes they make in this season in the regular season. They've just been getting by early. Like all their games, they should really be like 1-3. They won games at the last second. 2 games. They with the Chicago Bears, the game one. Then they did one like on the last play on a 4th down or something. Yeah, they got Julio hurt on that interception play. I know, Andrew. They've already. I was on Google. I was talking to Google support. They were on the live chat to see what I was talking about. They want to try to understand why people are not getting their notifications from me. And I say, go to Cleveland, ask for LeBron, last name James. That's your culprit. You know what did it? The video, remember when him and Wade was doing the best friends? He didn't like it. He didn't think that was funny. My buddy. When him and Dwayne Wade, my buddy. Everybody else liked it. He didn't like it. The Redskins need to show me, because the Chiefs are beatable. I think the Redskins can win this game. They're nothing but another. This is like the mirror teams of each other, except for Kansas City has a little bit better defense than Washington. Rewatch the Puffy video I made. Why I need to rewatch it? Shoe Girl Hills, what's up? I'm surprised Lex ain't on here. When Lex is on here, that's when the thing goes up. Oh, creative support then hit me up too. Great. So I don't know. This Tampa Bay, this is it. Oh, Hunt is good. For a rookie, he's good. He's very good. But he's not next level yet, but he's very good. But see, when people are a rookie, you got to see how they deal with the physicality of the game as the games go forward. Because they're playing against a much faster teams. Much faster players than they were in college. See, when you come from college, you got to worry about maybe 1 or 2 killers on the team that can catch you. Everybody else is just subpar. And the pro, everybody's a pro. So, you going against the best of the best at that position. They had to beat guys out to get there. So, you going against the top notch. And every game, you're going to be getting hit, getting beat on. So we'll see how it plays out. But as of right now, yeah, he's good. He's very good. We're going to see how it lasts, though. Rams are good. They're not a problem yet. Golf cannot. They can't. You're not going to win football games if you can't score touchdowns in the red zone. If you keep kicking a bunch of field goals, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. If that kind of football game is over, that means your defense has got to be shut down all the time. In golf, they're managing him to, like, they survived against Dallas. They should have scored at least 45 points on Dallas. They played the conservative role and was able to get away with it because Dallas couldn't capitalize. But the game should have never been in doubt. They should have never had a chance to. They outplayed Dallas on every aspect of that game. They should have never, ever been that close to them in that second half. They should have been scoring touchdowns. So if you're not getting in the end zone, this is why teams like Philly, teams like the Rams, they winning, but you see there's problems. They got to get in the end zone, and you got to get in there frequently. You cannot settle for these field goals. Dez did drop 2 balls, but Dak was under a lot of pressure, and he hasn't been as accurate as he normally is. But you knew this going into it. The other guy who dropped the 2-point conversion hit him right in the hands and hit him in the helmet. That was the 2-point conversion. It would have tied the game up. But Dak is doing the best he can. If Dak rolls out, he normally rolls out to his right. And he's very effective doing that rollout play because they work on that. The offense is dumbed down for the Rams. You can't get no more dumber. If you get any more dumber, you're the Chicago Bears. And I told y'all the Chicago Bears won't win more than 5 games this year. Period. Now Mitch Trubisky is the quarterback. The Bears have made the change today, and they said Mitch Trubisky will start the next game. And everybody in Chicago is thank you, thank you, thank you. That's an easy prediction. It was a bet, and I bet it in Vegas. I said, man, people was like, no, the Bears going to win more than 5 games. I think they'll be 8-8. I was like, 8-8? And here's the thing, though. Glennon was not bad. He was outplaying Aaron Rodgers. His problem was he couldn't hit the inside slant. He kept overthrowing the inside slant. He kept turning the ball over. If he didn't have the 4 turnovers, that was where the 4 touchdowns came in at. He had more yards. He had a better completion percentage. They were moving up and down the field. Every time he has an inside slant, the guy's wide open. They're in a cover 2. He kicks the inside slant. He overthrows the guy. And the ball goes right over his head. I'm like, who's he throwing it to? Who is he throwing it to? He did it twice. 2 interceptions the same way. The Green Bay Packers has not had an interception in any game they've played this season. None. That defense gets no interceptions. None. And this day, they miraculously land upon 2 interceptions. Get 2 fumbles from the quarterback, 4 turnovers, and it was a debate on was he gonna play next week. The Bears is always doing things backwards. Ben Turner starter. What Trubisky's going to do is he's young. He's going to bring energy to the team. You need somebody like that. You need somebody who's going to roll out, who's going to try to make plays with his feet. He's young. The Bears fans, they want to feel excited. They don't want to feel like they're going through the motions of a terrible season. They want to feel like, man, we can win. And like a lot of these games, they felt like they could have won. You got a lot of players on this team that never played in the NFL before, so they don't have a losing mentality coming into the game. They want to win. You got a bunch of young guys out here trying to make plays. Now, here's the kicker. The Bears defense, like their defensive linemen and all that, they front 4, that ain't bad at all. The Bears' front 4 is actually doing well. They ain't getting killed on the run like people thought they was going to be. They getting some pressure on the quarterback. Their problem is the corners and the safeties. They don't communicate well enough, and they get fooled and tricked with little bitty stuff at the line of scrimmage. Aaron Rodgers had 4 touchdowns. Not one of them was past 10 yards. Because of the fumble recoveries. He had two 4-yard touchdown passes, an 8-yard touchdown pass, and a 6-yard touchdown pass. Because of the turnovers. So you look at his yardage and his percentage, he really didn't do nothing the entire game. He didn't have to. The Bears did it for him. So that was it. Even though I hate the Packers and Sharon Rodgers, I can't stand Sharon Rodgers. So Sharon Rodgers comes out there and gets all this credit and get all this praise. But hey. Who's more talented? I would say Drake is more talented. Drake can do a lot more. Drake can act. Drake can sing, harmonize. He's not just a rapper. Kendrick is just an MC. He just has a great marketing team around him. The Jimmy Iovine train. I mean, it's true. Y'all gave Kendrick too much too fast. That's the perfect example of it. Now, I don't hate Kendrick at all. I know what Kendrick is. Kendrick is not trash. I don't hate Kendrick at all. I was the only one who liked the song King Kunta. Y'all didn't even like King Kunta. Y'all was up there, we gonna be alright. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. But I'm like, King Kendrick, that was my song. I mean, King Kunta. I played that for the entire... Woo, that was 2015. I got a bone to pick. I don't want you monkey my fit and I'm sitting in my throne the gate. I'm mad. He mad. But I ain't stressed. Truth friend. One question. Shoot, that's my jam. I'm just dead honest. I'm like Mad City. That he ain't did nothing better than that. That's the truth. I like that other album, the second one, but Mad City, come on. Mad City take the cake. And then the damn album came out, in the first 4-5 songs, you like, oh, this finna be a classic. Then it just fell off like, ah. And I was like, huh. Why am I defending Diddy? What's wrong with Diddy? I like what Diddy said. Diddy was right. Drake make more hits than Kendrick. Drake made way more songs than Kendrick. Way more work. This is the longest break from Drake we have ever had. Drake has been doing this since 2009. Look how many number one hits he didn't have since 2009. Who has had a run this long? And I'm talking about from every angle, from the thugs, the fake love still gets played. Every club, everywhere you go, fake love is played 24/7. They still do it. You could play 0 to 100. Dudes bump Drake. Girls gonna bump Drake. They gonna bump Drake. That's just it. Everybody's gonna bump him. I mean, the guy made $94 million. Y'all talking about all these other guys. He doubled Jay-Z. Doubled him. He's making the bread. I was like, why y'all talking about Kendrick? Kendrick made $30 million. And his name was everywhere. They didn't shot him up with all this marketing money. Kendrick. I'm like, he is not touching Drake. Drake ain't worried about Kendrick. They ain't even in the same category. And if I gotta compare albums, it's not even close. Hit songs, it's not even close. It's not even. I mean, y'all can say what you want. It ain't easy to make a hit. These other rappers then showed you it ain't easy to make a hit. Some of these guys, they come out, they stay for a year, and then they gone. The hood do bump Drake. I don't know what you talking about. The hood bumps Drake. Because the chicks in the hood bump Drake. So the dude's going to bump it. Fake Love is going to get played 1,000 times. You're going to hear Drake and Future. You're going to hear Drake and you're going to hear Drake and Gucci. You're going to hear Drake and somebody else. Drake going to be on every joint that was popping. Believe me. They don't even bump Kendrick. Be Humble, they faded out. DNA, faded out. His only song, that's how you know somebody's album is not what it's claimed up to be, is when nobody's talking about it. And his only song that he got that's not even his is the remix of Mask Off. Mask Off is already a hit. Mask Off was already blown up. They didn't need Kendrick. So the song was already blown up to the top of the charts. They do a remake. He go on the award show. He do the remix to it with him and Future on the award show. Why you ain't doing something from your other album? Where your other singles? Nobody bumping that third single he dropped. You don't even know the name of that third single he dropped off that album. Nobody's bumping it. That's because y'all don't go to the clubs. You wouldn't know. You go to the clubs, the DJ's going to spin some Drake. I'm going to tell you the songs they spinning. I'm in there. I know what they spinning. On Friday nights when I'm in there, I know what I'm hearing. You gonna hear hold on. You gonna hear Free Smoke. You gonna hear Free Smoke. Then you gonna hear Fake Love. You might hear Controller. And you gonna hear Passion Fruit. And you gonna hear another song with Gucci. That's it. And you might hear a song with him and Future. But you gonna hear Drake. Period. Rihanna was, how should I put this? Riri was Riri before Riri. Like, she's good with those melodies, but she's not a good writer. She needs people to write her songs. Like, trying to think, who wrote Umbrella for? I think it was Neo. Neo wrote Umbrella. I could be wrong. That could have been The Dream, if I'm not mistaken. It was either Neo or The Dream. See, people don't realize that's where the money come in at. Neo, The Dream. Because Neo wrote like 3 hits for Beyonce. He wrote Single Ladies, Put a Ring on It. Yeah, Carrie Hilson was making her money. And then she bit the hand. She got real cocky and bit the hand that was feeding her. And bit at the wrong person. When she bit at When she bid at Beyonce, her money dried right on up. Next thing you know, she's doing bootleg movies where she's a cashier. I'm like, wow. They got Carrie Hilson out real quick. Hollywood Squares, it's Carrie Hilson and Khalees. That's how you know it's over. When you look to the side of you and you see a reality show star from I Just Got Out of My Car, the TV show is Deborah Anderson. You be like, who in the world is Debbie Anderson? I just got out of my car. You don't remember my show? Like, no. Who is Debbie Anderson? I'm sitting next to her. It's where your career go to die. And they came out with, we're going to do hip hop squares. I'm like, oh God. Who's going to be on that? That's automatic. My career is over. Starring Ice Cube. Safari. T.I. Oh God. Your career is over. As 50 would say, that's the graveyard, man. It's the graveyard. So y'all tell me who y'all think is going to be in the NFC Championship game. What is going to be the two teams? Falcons and Green Bay, Seattle and Tampa, Lions and Tampa Bay, Rams and Packers. But you see what's happening here? We're not having somebody come in with two teams already. Like everybody picking the same two teams. So the Cowboys just gonna play themselves, Johnny Floyd. Okay. But you see what's happening? We all talking about different teams in that championship game. That's the way it's supposed to be, and this is the way the NBA needs to be. We can sit here in the NBA right now and just say, why are we watching this season? We know who's going to be the next two in the finals, and that's ridiculous. We shouldn't even have to do that. We should have the season dictate that. Let the game dictate who's going to be in the finals. Now, who's going to be in the AFC Championship game? AFC now. Broncos and Steelers. Pats and Steelers. Chiefs and Steelers. Okay. Chiefs and Steelers. Yeah, I was supposed to be in Las Vegas, like right now. Today is the actual day. I think this Monday I was supposed to be in there. But I didn't get the phone call, so we didn't have to go there. It was supposed to be for a business trip. But we obviously didn't go. So we avoided this. But Ty is down there. He was in the middle of that thing. I don't know what Ty was doing down there. I'm like, this is a country music thing. Ty, what in the world was you doing down there? I'm thinking nobody I know down there. I'm going to call her anyway. Next thing you know, Ty on Facebook. If you go to my Facebook page, you see Ty video. Shells going off over his head. I'm Ty. What you even doing down there, Ty? But let me get out of here. Too bad Lex wasn't here. I might go live before the Monday night game. And we might watch it at Hooters with my homegirl. So, I'm out.